Blessings and welcome to the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle. So, I have not posted very much on this channel yet. I don't think there's any like actual original stuff. I think most of it has been pulled off of Bentley's Backwards Bushcraft because there was a considerable amount of time I lost access to BBB. I have since regained partial access to Bentley's Backwards Bushcraft. I can comment on videos and I can post videos, but I can't go to any of my tabs. I can't go to my manager tab and get in there. There's some computery crap that's anyway. I can upload videos and I can comment. So right now I'll just accept that as a blessing and leave it alone. So BBB is kind of back. Zenshin Academy is my martial art YouTube channel, and although I don't post a whole lot on that, I do post more than I have on this channel. And I do plan on doing a live at the dojo every Saturday on Zenshin Academy. So if you're interested in martial arts, you can take a look at it. If you're still interested in my martial art, every Saturday I plan on doing a live video from the dojo. So there's that. And then Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle, which is my pagan channel. And as I said, I was pulling videos off of BBB and putting them here. But now that I have access to BBB, I don't need to necessarily pull old videos from there and post on here. I can start making new videos. So one of the last videos, of course, the last video that was posted here was a full moon video. The next to last video was my altar setup 6 years ago, maybe even 7 years ago at this point. I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, it has expanded over those handfuls of years, and I kind of want to show you how it has progressed from what you've seen in that video to this video. So if you have not seen that video, my altar 6 years ago, just take a look at that one first, just so you can see how it was versus how it is now. Now, I can't necessarily just show you my altar. I have to show you the whole room. It's my sanctuary, but it is a mess. I'm going to let you know that right now. It's a mess. Michelle has some crafty stuff in here, but that's not the reason it's a mess. The reason it's a mess is because of me. I have a few totes and I have crap laying all over the floor. I basically have a path from where I'm sitting, which is a little table desk, to the door, and everything else is cluttered. So you're going to see a lot of clutter, and I will just let you know it's just how I live. My lifestyle is cluttered, and although I like conformed structure, pardon, I don't like completely conformed structure. I like a balance. It has to be some chaos and clutter mixed with that. So you may look at it and say, oh, it's a mess, but it's an organized mess. We'll put it that way. So without any further ado, let's look at the Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle's home sanctuary. All right, so we're going to begin right here at the door, and we're going to walk in, and I'm just going to start showing you the cluttered mess. All right, so here we go. So here's what, just coming in, here's the door. I have some sigils up, some pine cones. There's some pine cones right there. And at the door, there is some sigils that I made into a protection, and there's one of them. There we go. But it goes all the way around the door. So that's the first thing here. And then when we get in, I have some pine cones, I have some sigils here, and then I have a genealogy that goes back to 2 accused witches in Connecticut. Mary Baker Hale and Winifred King. Winifred was considered the Witch of Wallingford. Anyway, that goes all the way down past me into my grandchildren, my kids and my grandkids. Right here we have some dried flowers and leaves and all sorts of stuff. There's some sunflowers, some grape leaf right there, some honeysuckle here. There's a handmade broom I made, and there's some more. There's some conifer here, and here we go. Here is some more pine with cones and everything. So when you first come in, you have these bells. So when you walk in, you have to walk through the bells, and they make nice little noise. We'll start, well, actually, let's start on this side. So back, oh, here's some sage up here. This is sage that I myself collected in Colorado and made into sage smudges. A bunch of affirmation beads that I have made, hoping that I can use those along with the book that I have written, although I have not yet got that published. Here's a mess. This is just a cluttery mess here. Just a cluttery mess. Some of this, well, all this is my stuff, and then this is a little bit of Michelle's stuff. And then we have the main altar over there, but we're going to skip that for a second and move over here to the other side of the room. And here is my apothecary / collection of stuff. Got all sorts of things here. There's some chicken feet, some creeping thistles, some dandelions, eggshells. I've got rose, dried rose. I've got all sorts of stuff. I've got some coffee tree seeds, some dried orange peels, mugwort, poison ivy, pokeberries, red clovers, and it goes on and on and on. There's tons and tons of stuff there. And it also goes over into this area here: lilac, pumpkin seeds, yew, thicket creeper, squirrel paws, bindweed, some corn, broom corn, snake skin, just tons and tons and tons of stuff. Just can't even. I have a bunch of plants and seeds that I have on frames that I did at one point have up, but I don't have any. I have not put them up yet. I have some candles. There's a little bit of candles here, and then ribbons and incense and all sorts of stuff like that. There's some more candles and random boxes and some poppet making material down there. Then over here, I have tons of eggshells, which I use for many things, and all sorts of other stuff. And again, like I said, there's more apothecary items, milkweed, all sorts of stuff down there. And then that's just a cluttery mess right now of just tons and tons of stuff that I collected out on Michelle and I's adventure. And then there's a bunch of clutter on the floor. So again, clutter. So we scoot over to this nice little cabinet here. And let's see here. Hold on one second. Wasn't sure if turning that light on helped or didn't help. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, here is a selenite in that box right there that I use as a wand. I have several. Here's a wand. There's a wand. This box here contains a key with beads on it that I use for my dark moon ritual, and that's there. I have my honey and my garlic and my dandelion here that I use during monthly ritual. And then the second shelf, I have a couple handmade books and just basically some bones here. Another driftwood wand, and that tooth and that tooth there are bison teeth, and I've got some that's a raccoon skull. I think those are coyote jaws. Some granite right there is some granite that I got in Colorado. And down to the next one, we have some quartz crystal, which I got in Colorado, and deer antler, and there's some more granite that came from Colorado. Or I'm sorry, that came from Colorado as well. And I found that picture. That's a really cool picture. I like that. I found that at a rummage sale. I think it was like $3. And then down here, I have some more dandelions, some purple sage, some crackers, which are all used for monthly ritual. And there in the back is one of my offering floats that I do. Looks like there's a mortar pestle here, and then on the very bottom I have a little setup with some candles and a little plastic orb that has a tea light candle in it. And then that little plastic sword we got at Disney. Yeah, so I got that in there. Here's a couple nice sized mortar and pestles, and in the middle is a coyote skull. And then I'm going to move over here, and this is the front of my cauldron and crown area, and there's a little small deer hip along with some pine cone and 3 dark moon and 3 full moon floats that I use for offerings. And right now there's nothing in that. Well, I take that back. There's a book of feathers that is in that, and the feathers over here are going to be placed in that eventually. And then of course we have my crown and cauldron, and I made this several years ago, and it's a couple deer antler with some pine cone made into a nice little crown, and it sits on my cauldron when it's not being used. And on either side again, coyote skulls and pine cones, quartz crystal, deer antler, and at each point there is an element: earth, air, fire, and water right there. And then we come up to my desk, which is cluttery. This is my indoor monthly full moon and dark moon ritual area right there. I do my thing there. I each have one here waiting for each whatever month, whatever time it is. There's some recently got some porcupine quills, and they just sitting here right now, as well as this horn. I plan on fixing it into a drinking horn. Haven't done anything with it yet right now. And so we'll go behind here, and then this cabinet here holds material for books of shadows or information. All these folders are full of basically a book of shadows. It's basically what all this whole area is. And then up here I have another shelf, which right now I don't have anything in. And then this container here is, I think it's a jewelry container, but it holds crystals right now. I've got different crystals in it. It's sitting in there. And then on the back wall here, which is the south wall, I have a quartz crystal. I got those quartz in Colorado, and I placed them in that and hung it up. The window has all sorts of dried flowers and things everywhere, along with the window sill, some quartz, some lavender, all kinds of seeds. There's a little feather, all sorts of stuff. There's some milkweed right there, and sage, and all sorts of flowers and beads and lavender. There's some thistle. Here's a purple thistle right here. Just all kinds of things that I've got hanging up. And then on this side here, there's my Atlatl. I love that thing. Then I have my book stand, which I made. You can see me making this on Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle's YouTube page. Back here is my ancestor / family altar area, and I have representation of family members. That cast iron skillet is from my grandmother on my dad's side. That blanket is from my grandmother on my mother's side. And then that bear is a shirt from my dad. There is my dad's obit. And then my sister. And there is Violet. Violet was our Beagle Basset Hound. She lived with us for 10 years. She was part of the family, and she sits here as well. There are other things down there, but family tree, basically a family tree right there, and then family photos right there. So there's my basic family altar. Now, moving back, and there's some pictures. There's some of the leaves and flowers and everything that aren't in frames, that are just hung up on the wall. But this area here is the main altar. Now, this is the same main altar that I had 6 years ago. It's just expanded a little bit, if you can't tell. So we'll start underneath here. And this is my divination area. This is where I keep my divination. I've got some tarot cards. I like using stones and seeds and things like that for basic yes/nos. There's some runes in there. And then there's a set of runes that was given to me at a Nordic festival I went to. Then I come up here, and we got this area here, which again, a lot of deer antler, goose egg, a wand here, and then we move to the center where there is a Book of Shadows sitting here, along with other items, locusts, cicadas, shells, teeth, dandelions, eggs, feathers, all sorts of stuff here. I use this as an incense device, but what it really is you turn it upside down. It's a top to a post. I found this out in the woods when I was cleaning an area to build a shelter. This was buried out in the woods, just left. And it's actually a top that you stick a post, and this goes on top of a post. It's decoration on top of a post, but I use it as an incense cauldron, things to that nature. Again, over here, some deer fur, a cricket, nice little cricket right there, some raccoon here, and then the male side over here there's a large hip bone from a deer, some more sticks and antlers, another goose egg. Here is a fur of it's a pelt of a mole, a bunch of goose feathers, and then here is a moon moth. I found that already dead. Found that out in the woods on a walk one day. Here's a raccoon hide, again found dead. That mole, again found dead. I don't go around killing things, but if I do find them, I will use them. And then here is the main altar. This is the main altar that generally was the beginnings 6 years ago. If you can see here in the center, that's still basically the same thing. That rock right there is the same rock. The shells are the same. That's basically the same area. But we have tons and tons of stuff here. If you see anything that you're interested in, feel free to question me, and I would be more than glad to make comment or discuss anything that you want to know about. I made this athame right here. I carved the rock, made the pine sap glue, and stained that stick and made that knife myself. This one was gifted to me from a YouTube friend who made this out of a railroad tie, so that was a gift there. And here this is a spine from a catfish, and that right there is a back. Does anybody know what a baculum is? Anyway, right there is that. If anybody wants to know, feel free to ask. I'll tell you. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you now. That is a raccoon penis. I say, what better way to represent male, the physical male, rather than, I mean, that you can't get any better than an actual real penis. So that is a raccoon penis. Back there is some more antler. There's a deer. Then we move over a tad bit. We got candles, a bunch of rocks, stones, crystals, bones, plants, all sorts of stuff. There's a bird skull right there, and it just continues on and on. I think that's a bird skull. No, that's not. Hold on a second. What is that? Oh no, that's the squirrel. I think that's from a squirrel. I think that's a squirrel. Then we move over to the female version here, and then there's a feather, a bird's nest. Again, that's an actual bird's nest that I collected after it was no longer being used. Keys, of course, which is a big representation. Here is a black walnut that I lacquered so that it wouldn't rot away. Another egg, nice stone. More keys. Cat for best. Here's my basic symbol that I enjoy for goddess, which is the mermaid. And again, back here is probably one of my most favorite representations of the goddess. A picture here. I don't actually have a statue, but maybe one of these days I'll find one. A mirror right here, a scrying mirror, and this is what I used to use as a cauldron before I got my other cauldron. And then in the center, this is probably the oldest of everything that I have. That rock that it's sitting, the center section sitting on, was my actual very first altar. That rock right there was my very first altar. I still have it to this day. Shells on each of the directions that have the elements. There's clay for earth, a feather for air, flint for fire, and water for the element of water. Now, I put water in this just about every other day or so. I have to fill it up, but I also have a small glass container that has water in it, just in case I'm unable to get to it as in time that I want to do. Each element has a crystal quartz in this, separating them, and then in the center is salt. And there we go. So again, I will quickly just kind of go through the room, and if there's any questions anybody has, or any comments, feel free to put those down in the comments below, and I will do my very best to at least give you my reasonings behind what's where and why and what I use it for. I can't guarantee that it will be an acceptable reason for you, but I'll tell you, I can tell you why I do it. And there we go. So there is the that's my particular sanctuary that I have in my home. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them below, and I will do my very best. Now, I do want to say this to the person that requested the hand fasting cord. Unfortunately, I got sick and was unable to do that at this point, but I do hope to get to it soon. I do have the cord right here. I would like to get another white, black, and red one. So hopefully it's not going to disrupt your schedule or arrive too late, but I have not even started on it yet. And like I said, Michelle and I were both pretty sick for like 2 weeks, and we're just now getting back into the routine of things. So hopefully I will be able to get that started soon. Make sure you contact me through Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle's Facebook group. And just to let everybody else know, we do have a Facebook group, Mystic Order of the Sacred Circle, and I encourage everybody to join that along with subscribing to this channel. And hopefully we can expand the order and make sure that paganism in general is seen in its truest light. So blessings to all, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.